Inside Our Minds. This is really interesting stuff here. Joining us now is an award-winning author and podcast host whose new book, How Minds Change, The Surprising Science of Belief, Opinion, and Persuasion, acts as a handbook for persuasion while focusing readers to re-examine their own deeply held beliefs. David McCraney, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Your book comes with really a grand promise. You write that you are about to gain a superpower, a step-by-step script of how to change people's minds on any topic without coercion by simply asking the right kinds of questions in the right order. Let's just start right off the top. What are those questions? What's the order? Why is this line of thinking so powerful?
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thanks for having me. The instructions, that line in the book comes like around page 200 because I build you up to that over time by explaining how minds are made and then what changes them outside of persuasion. And then we finally get into speaking with experts in persuasion, people who study that scientifically or also go out there and do it door to door in activist groups or in other organizations. I was actually really surprised to meet all these different groups of people who had never met each other, and many of them were not aware of the science behind what they do, but they had all arrived at pretty much the same technique, and pretty much it always goes in the same order. It starts with building rapport. It starts with making sure that what you're about to say and ask and do in no way suggests that the other person should be ashamed for what they think, feel, or believe. But then you move on from that to asking people to either state a proposition or talk about the attitude they hold, talk about the issue at hand. And then you ask people to describe it on a scale of confidence, sometimes 0 to 100 or 1 to 10. You ask why they feel that way, why that number feels right to them. And then the rest of the techniques all explore sort of in a guided metacognition sort of way, asking a person where their confidence comes from, what reasons are they using to justify the way they feel, and you open up a space with the other person. And instead of sort of directing the conversation, you listen your way toward changing the other person's mind.
And so if we were to just start with something very mundane, right? The color of the wall behind you is red. And so I would start out by saying, so do you like that color? What made you decide to choose red, right? Is that kind of the theory of just opening up the conversation without seeming partial about the color?
Of course, because, you know, a lot of the issues we face, whether you're talking about politics or something that has made its way into politics, we are really eager to develop trust with the other person. And the thing that really gets between us and having good conversations with other people and understanding why we might disagree about something often is an inability to establish that trust.
I do love the red, by the way. You say, though, that facts and evidence aren't always the best way to change someone's mind. Why is that the case?
Because the facts that people put forth on either side of an issue are at the end of the processing chain, the conclusions of the process. Most of the time, it's of all the evidence out there, people cherry pick from all the evidence available to them those things that seem to support and justify and rationalize the attitudes and values that they hold. And if you just ask those facts to go into the arena and battle the other person's facts, they did the same thing that you did, and there's no investigation as to how you arrived at that level of confidence. There's no investigation as to why you might disagree on the matter or see it differently.
You also analyze a variety of prominent debates in our society, from serious topics like abortion and gay marriage to more lighthearted debates such as the infamous white and gold versus black and blue dress. What similarities, though, did you find in those debate topics, large and small?
I love the dress as a way to get into this topic, and I put it early on for that purpose, because if anyone remembers the dress that went around the internet in 2015, and it resurges every once in a while. I saw that it was going viral again just a couple of days ago. Some people, when they look at the dress, it's black and blue. Some see it as white and gold. In the book, I explain the neuroscience behind why that is. But if you were to get into a debate with someone over that, and the idea of the debate was to prove that the way I see it is the way that you ought to see it, and the way you see it is wrong in some way, or I'm trying to figure out why you don't see it the way I see it because you must be mistaken. I see it the way it's supposed to be seen. If you get into that sort of debate, the only person who wins the debate is the person who doesn't change their mind in some way. And if you instead entered into a conversation with someone about that particular thing, the dress, and you were trying to investigate, I see that we see this differently. I wonder why we see it differently. that's the only way you would ever get into the scientific background of what's going on there.
Thank you so much. So many more questions that I could ask you. We're just out of time at this point. How Minds Change, The Surprising Science of Belief, Opinion, and Persuasion is available tomorrow wherever books are sold.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.